Donald Trump hired his own hall, had his own crowd, along with GOP rivals Mike Huckabee and Rick Santorum, who stopped by after the undercard debate. ABC's Tom Yamas is in Des Moines with all the details. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. As you just heard in Jonathan's piece, Trump wasn't there, but he did take some fire on that stage, and he said last night he actually considered showing up to the debate and that Fox, up to the last minute, was trying to get him to go there.
The show must go on, and Thursday night it did.
And I didn't want to be here, I have to be honest. I wanted to be about 5 minutes away.
Trump claiming Fox News apologized to him, but it wasn't enough to reconsider.
Fox has been extremely nice, and the last number of hours, actually. And they've wanted me there, and they said, how about now? They called a few minutes ago. How about now? Can you come over? I said, hasn't it already started?
In a statement, Fox News saying on Thursday, Chairman Roger Ailes had 3 brief conversations with Donald Trump today about possibly appearing at the debate, and that Trump offered to appear at the debate upon the condition that Fox News contribute $5 million to his charities. We explained that was not possible, and we could not engage in a quid pro quo, nor could any money change hands for any reason.
We raised over $5 million in one day.
Trump still claiming victory, telling his crowd they raised more than $5 million for veterans.
Isn't that better than this debate that's going on where everyone's sleeping, right? They're all sleeping.
The GOP frontrunner even wrangling Rick Santorum and Mike Huckabee, who debated on the undercard stage, to join him.
And you respect Trump for doing this event?
He's raising money for veterans. His decision as to whether to go to the debate, to me, is a separate issue.
And Trump's followers, some who braved freezing conditions in Iowa to watch his speech on an outdoor monitor, say it was the smart play.
I thought it was a great idea. Donald Trump has a choice to do that. You know, when these people don't play fairly, then why go? You know, let's go out and support the vets.
I didn't get to see very much of it, but I heard.
And Trump personally donated $1 million. That's what he said to the event. Last night he sent out this tweet, an unbelievable event in Iowa with our great veterans. We raised $6 million while the politicians talked. Now, Trump says 22 vets organizations will get that money, many here in Iowa, and one of them spoke to ABC News. They said they got a call from the Trump campaign yesterday who said, quote, it will be better than winning the lottery. George?
Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Let's talk about this more with Matthew Dowd, our political analyst, Cecilia Vega here as well, covering the Hillary campaign. Oh, okay, we can't know for sure what the 30 or 40,000 undecided Republican voters in Iowa think, but you got to say at first blush, it looks like Trump's bet paid off. I
absolutely think it did, and part of the reason it paid off is because as the brash starting quarterback doesn't show up for the game, the trash-talking backup quarterback fumbled the first few steps, which is Ted Cruz. And I think Donald Trump benefited by what happened on that stage.
His was pretty good. It was the second one on Trump that fell
in the course of that debate, I think you got a better picture of Ted Cruz, and I don't think that did well for him.
Who did do well?
I think the interesting thing about it is others were able to shine. I think Rand Paul, who wasn't on the last stage, I think Rand Paul did very well in the course of that debate.
Jeb Bush had a pretty good night.
I think Jeb Bush had a pretty good night. I think Marco Rubio in the first hour of the debate had a very good night. But in the end, I think Donald Trump didn't show and won.
Meanwhile, Cecilia Vega, she was not on the stage either, but Hillary Clinton came in for a lot of fire last night as well.
She sure had a bunch of attacks, and I think we have one of them ready to go. Her campaign tweeted this image of Donald Trump out last night, and with it, there you go, right there. She says, trying not to throw my remote at the TV. That is what they were talking about last night. This really plays into her narrative right now. She's even gone to the point where she called Bernie Sanders my friend. She's not talking about him as much on the campaign trail right now. She's going above the fray. She's looking at Republicans. She's even looking past Iowa, I think, into this general. And this
they're locked in a pretty tight race in Iowa right now, but most of the polls show that she has a slight lead, and you're right. She's now moved into a different phase. What are the plans for the final 3 days?
I think you could say they are cautiously optimistic. She is bringing in the big guns. We're going to see her on the trail for the very first time since her announcement with Bill and Chelsea this week. They're looking well past Iowa. They know the race is really tight. I think they do realize this could be a loss for them. They're not racing for it yet, but they're ready if it happens.
And Matt, on both sides, final 3 days, what's the biggest unknown?
I think the biggest unknown on both sides is turnout. We don't know. Everything but Bernie Sanders' victory in Iowa is totally dependent on new voters, and Donald Trump's victory is totally dependent on new voters. And depending on if those show up, it goes in two different directions.
Okay, Matthew Dowd, Cecilia Vega, thanks very much. We're going to have full coverage of the Iowa caucuses here at ABC News this week on Sunday morning. GMA and World News Tonight, both live in Iowa on Monday, plus all the results live Monday night and next Saturday. The Republican debate live from New Hampshire at 8 Eastern.